So here's another cleaning thing.
Well, it's not a cleaning thing, actually.
Okay, explain this one.
It has nothing to do with cleaning.
Explain this one. Hi everyone, I'm Don Stewart, the artist at ArtistChronicle.com.
Today I'm at the Green Hill Center for North Carolina Art, talking to FATIMAH TUGGAR. She's having an exhibit that covers 16 years of her digital art, and she shares her inspiration and some technical things too.
I've been doing this a long time, and I was born in Western Africa, raised there and in England, and then moved to the US. The general broad theme is to explore the impact of technology on different cultures. And primarily my mode of working is collage, so assemblage when it's with objects. This piece is called Tumtum and Tabarma, which is cushions and mat, really, basically. And what I've done is with each of the cushions is represent the person that would supposedly be sitting on the cushion. Any culture that you go to, you begin to see two things, which is the history of the place and the outside economic influences. Since this is a fictional family that I've created in Nigeria, you begin to see things like the cabin biscuits over there. So as you begin to look at products, you begin to see all these various influences that converge within any culture. One of the things that I've been looking at with objects is this idea of spaces or cultures where there isn't the stability in terms of infrastructure for electricity to be a constant. So 1 minute you could be using a tool one way, and then electricity will go out, and then you'll switch to the traditional and back and forth. And this is quite common in a lot of West African cultures. This is Dancing by the Poolside.
Okay.
And it's an image that explores excess and glamour and lavishness. One of the areas of excess in no matter what culture is weddings, which is why you have some of the bridesmaids, like the Western dressed bridesmaids. And I think that you get that sense of aspect of excess. And then things like this where, you know, you dance and cash is thrown on you, and it's just left on the floor for musicians and whoever to pick up. Also, I think shows a different kind of excess. And also, no matter what culture you are in, I think architecture becomes an aspect of that sort of excess, because people want to pick out lavish places to have as a venue to have these sorts of events. This is Lady and the Maid. It has to do with this overwhelming amount of clutter, and I wanted to juxtapose that clutter with this sort of idea of the generation before me, decorating your house with china and cabinets in that way, and then creating this dynamic where there's this woman who seems to also be fumbling a little bit. How oblivious she is to the existence of this woman and what is going on. I mean, you can tell that they're not really connected to one another. It's sort of to begin to talk about how people could be in similar circumstances but not be together, but really begin to have parallel experiences. With Dream Team, I like the idea of creating a dynamic where you actually don't know which one the dream team is, because you don't know which team is going to win. It's why I'm using the sky and underwater imagery to sort of evoke the idea of dream.
Photographs are things that you find, that you take yourself.
Combination of things I found and things I shoot myself. A lot of the images start with me going out taking photographs. Sometimes I have clarity in terms of exactly what's going to happen with the images that I'm shooting, and sometimes I don't. I do not obviously just travel somewhere and take pictures. I have to spend a great deal of time in a place, maybe a month or longer, to be comfortable enough to photograph. Also, more often than not, I actually build some kind of relationship with people before I photograph them so that there's a level of comfort in terms of them knowing what I'm doing and why I'm photographing them. And then after that, a lot of the images are taken into Photoshop, which is where I do my compositing, with multiple layers.
Do you like using a Mac or a PC? Or?
Well, since I made my first collage in this manner in 1995, it's clear that at that point PCs didn't even have the software. So yes, I'm Mac-based.
What kind of a print are these?
These are just inkjets, and then we put a UV lamination on the front, and then they're printed on Sintra, vinyl Sintra, which is sort of a PCP-based plastic. So really, it's a plastic sandwich. I think one of the misnomers that people keep doing is deciding that the images come from America and Africa, which also is a weird kind of combination, a country and a continent. Really, it's beyond. The images come from all kinds of places I've been to. When we look at the image that is to my right, a lot of the background in that is Australia. It's not necessarily American-based or, sort of the simplicity of saying, oh, it's this and that combined finish. It's sort of more complex than that.